Anytime I rip on you say up on the roof. You promise I gon' be done, be my boo. And I read the vibe, just took me for a fool. Boy, you know what's on me fire can't cool. Anytime I rip on you say up on the roof. You promise I gonna be done, be my boo. And I read the vibe, just fake love. Boy, watch your mood, see what you do. You think say me no know. Fake love, rude but the boy you think say you are wretched. But see me na me taki say me in a violet. Me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, yeah, no, no. Me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Manjale. Oh, Mr. Manjale. Yeah, boy, anything I want, may I do it for you. That the passion, may I give it to you. You know, if you tell me you wearing for me body. I don't go back no man, I me money. Boy, anything I want, me I do it for you. That the passion, may I give it to you. You know, if you tell me you wearing for me body. I don't go back no man, I me money. Yeah, me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, yeah, no, me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, Miss Manjale. Oh, Miss Manjale. Jaila, me taki say sofa. Ya no fi push me na the sofa. Cause you a woman heart killer. Ah, Jaila, me taki say sofa. Ya no fi push me na the sofa. Cause you a woman heart killer. Ah, yeah. Me know what say I don't like me, boy, but I know what say I can't tell me about. Yeah, no. Me know what say I don't like me, boy, but I know what say I can't tell me about. Yeah, Miss Manjale. Oh, Miss Manjale. Yeah. Hey, boy, you know what's me fire can't cool. Anytime I rip on ya, say up on the roof. Me promise I won't be done, be my boo. And I read the fire, just took me for a fool. Boy, you know what's me fire can't cool. Anytime I rip on ya, say up on the roof. You promise I gonna be done, be my boo. And I read the boy, you just fake love. Boy, watch your mood, see what you do. You think say me no know. Fake love, rude but the boy you think say you are wretched. But see me na me taki say me na violet. Me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, no. Me know what say you don't like me, boy, but I know what say you can't tell me why. Yeah, Miss Manjale. Oh, Miss Manjale. Yeah. Me know what say I don't like me, boy, but I know what say I can't tell me why. Yeah. No. Me know what say I don't like me, boy, but I know what say I can't tell me why.
beautiful Thursday morning. We have just 4 more days left, and then we are officially done with November, and 11 days to go till we vote.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Breakfast Daily. My name is David Kweku Sakyi.
And I am Dziffa Ametam. As usual, it is an interactive show. So wherever you're watching us from, we do want to hear from you. Just use the hashtag Breakfast Daily to join the conversation.
Absolutely. And we also have a WhatsApp line. It's 0550-585-832. If you happen to be outside Ghana, kindly prefix that number with +233.
Yep, and we want to start the day off on a positive note. So let's take a look at our quote of the day.
So the quote of the day today comes from Herbert Hoover, who says, "Children are our most valuable resource. Children are our most valuable resource." Yeah. And I think that sometimes what we especially in these parts of the world, you know, we tend to belittle the importance of the place of children within our just basically life discourse within our societal construct. We don't place a lot of value on them because we feel as if what's that thing we say that don't speak till you're spoken to, and we have all these things that we do with children and all that. But I think it's important for us to realize that the future is now when the child is born. The future has just arrived when the child is born, you know, and so how you treat the child is your respect for the future. You know, so I think it's a very important thing.
And especially since we've been talking about antenatal, perinatal all week long, and I wish we get to a point where we actually plan to have children and we don't do it by accident, because if it's your most valuable resource, that's the one thing that you want to be intentional about. So you want to have conversations about, are you emotionally mature enough to have a child? Are you mentally mature enough to have a child? A lot of us have scars from our own childhood. There are a lot of things that were done to us wrongly by society that we somehow misinterpret as, if I went through this, then it made me who I am. No, you are who you are in spite of those things. And then we tend to transfer all these toxic things to our children and expect them to turn out just like we did because it gave us a tough skin, but it's actually really wrong.
And talking about, you know, the having toxicity in growing up and all those things, I realize as we're coming towards elections, there are some conversations that we really need to have. They're very serious conversations, you know. People have been brought up in ways to feel as if it's only when elections are coming up that they matter, and then they are used almost as weapons, tools by political parties to you know, to mete out let's say some kind of vengeance or other kinds of atrocities, you know, to their opponents and so on and so forth. And you had a conversation with some people.
I was at Nima speaking to the young people there, so let's hear what they had to say about this political season and how they're not going to be allow any politician to use them. The first one will have for how long?
Oh, you patrol friend me Daniel Achu Sedo. You wumi wa hanumi. You wumi 1983. And I wumi 37 years in me. And I mean you are me one color 4.
Wow.
You fit juma na mission. But all over fit juma na move. Monkey system my home. Who you be bring wa hanumi. And you be an wadan. Obi da getu on person oni ni mami beda ye be brawa ye be brenu ye ni obi mu da ka no mu na ka ana obi mu se nipa ndi bench ato ha no wada dienti mpenifo no antronko omudni asempa pa on be ka do voting time ana obi mu se o mu pia babontin o na munye se na munye se na munye se Omunyanya we no I just said next year election time be so ansa na omasanye omasamba see I just said back and I be kai we say oh ni pass me see bra e be boa wo no so anya bibia ye no kom boa wo 10 cedi 5 cedi 20 cedi en family for en family nya hwe enye ye pe ana ye nuanu mu pe na omudi etu ekɔ abɔnten ekɔ botu ana ekɔ yɛsɛ no enye ɔmo pewu ba kakra bi na ɔmo bɛnyɛ di no nti na ɔmo di sɛ adwuma no anka mpanimfoɔ no mu si company ni nyamanyama de si wɔ ma ɔmo a me yɛ sure sɛ ɛyɛ nyina ɛbɛkɔ akɔyɛ adwuma na yɛso yɛ de anya ketua na yɛso yɛ tumi atɔ ne ɛpɛ ba ɔmo sɛ mpanimfoɔ no bɛyɛ saa na sɛ ɔmo kɔ outside country ɛti sɛ ɔmo akɔgyegye sika bi na sɛ ɔmo de sika no ba ɔmo na ɔmo kyikyɛ no one say omu di omu mba no akọ school kese ni nyamanyama na yi aye bre ye di omu asi akonya no so na omu abu ekosia eno ani se otika kese mu na so ni sase enye saa na mi se ombran be ye o so omu feel say yesu ye omu nkola ti se na omu awo omu nkola e de atu fie no yesu ye omu nkola yesu ye nipa ye didi ye pese enko school kese enye pe na edit na ha o ejuma na ni ho anasika na ni ho edi ye manu mana yankasa ebe ko school minya ya still na mi o school so anu so onya anu so oni ba o school kese mi so minya ya mi so mi school nti omunjai sa dada ni sa we na omunya sa na omudidi ye hu omunjai sa dada na omunjai
nti ejuma pote ben pana opese aban starting
ejuma bia ejuma mommy ejuma bia ejuma so if you can do it there ejuma there
meet by
yes say yes ya nti say wonu mi ya uko you learn it you agree to go away because you haven't learned it you learn it for some you see for some things you learn it definitely you can't say ejuma we susunity mean to me here unti me here say uko didie uko nya aduane won nti ejuma na obeye anya aduane adi
nti unya yanka ensa ejuma ban na mo ha ye betimi
ejuma de bebre drivers wo motor riders wo engineer fitter for bibia veterinary bibia yeah
nti adetina aban timi mbambe sete ya
ni mo am be bisa say so get on you to know omunamu ye vote nu get on you to nyina omunamu ye vote
what you say
oh ade baba yes big omunya vote nu pe no ma dwan ajaye
but then I work afa politicians omodemo ye omo bodyguard na omo ma koye ni omo bone ma omo na ba say
yeah nyama bone bia o sa nyama bone de nye so wan ka sa ubapo ukasa sem che be ka say no ade aye penu ye pe good good for that thing who you are ponti yourself those boys are good they help the youth and the government but don't point to the left and say they are bad boys no you are all the youth you are good boys
Yeah, their concerns are very real.
Yeah.
Very, very real, you know. I think it's a very difficult situation that they find themselves in because you look at youth, very strong, very virile, you know, and yet for hours and hours of the day, they're doing nothing, really. Nothing productive, you know. And so if somebody comes to offer you 10 CDs to up to 50 CDs to go and do something that you yourself is against your better conscience, you're asking yourself, this takes care of my meal tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, I've been looking for money. This takes care of my meal tomorrow. So how do I look at this and let it go away? You know, rather than take it and go and do whatever they want me to do, and then I have my meal for the day. I think it's a tough situation.
And I'm glad that they are finally seeing that the politicians are taking them for granted.
For granted,
because
yeah.
It's almost as if the politicians are actively participating in keeping them stuck in that poverty. Because irrespective of who comes into power, we all know communities that need help.
Yeah.
What stops us from saying we're going to establish some sort of a vocational school for mechanics, or we're going to engage young people in this area and give them free license so they can become taxi drivers? If we equipped them with some sort of jobs, they won't find the time to be following us around. So I think the vigilantism bill is great. Politicians saying we're not going to use young people is great, but we should take it a step further to ask, what have you done for these young people?
As a substitute
since 1992. What have we done for them to say, okay, I can see X community center, I can see Y community center. There are actually options available. And these young people are intentionally choosing not to go that route and just deciding to foment trouble. Then we can hold them accountable. But if we as a society, we have failed them, we don't have the moral right to criticize them when they follow certain people who just want to use them for their own political gains.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with the Nima situation in particular, I remember that one of the young men that we interviewed here who started something small in terms of setting up reading clubs and so on and so on and so on. I think that those kinds of things are amazing, you know, that they're self-starting initiatives, but the government needs to do better, you know, as well. Now, we do have news that are making their rounds around the country. Let's take a look at our regional news roundup.
Welcome to News Roundup from the Eastern Region. My name is Neoni Amate-Kanaku. President Akufo-Addo has wrapped his 2-day campaign tour of the Eastern Region with a call on residents in his home region to turn out on 7th December to vote massively for the NPP to continue its developmental projects. The president, who began his tour at Nkoko with a visit to Kwaben, Osino, Begro, Tafo, says the NPP is the only political party with a blueprint to Ghana's development. Nana Addo says his first term has been exceptional and needs another term to continue with the good works. Speaking at rallies in Abri, Akosombo, Odumase, Somenya and Koforidua as part of his tour of the Eastern Region, President Akufo-Addo urged the Ghanaian electorate to renew his mandate. The president, who was overwhelmed by the show of support by residents in the region, said he's optimistic the opposition National Democratic Congress will lose miserably in this year's election. Still, with matters relating to the president's tour, some traditional and religious leaders in the Eastern region have endorsed President Akufo-Addo's second-term bid. The Abri Hinin Otobo Jan Kwesi, who doubles as the Adontin Hinin of Akuapem Traditional Council, and the Eastern Regional Chief Imam, Yusuf Amudani, have openly endorsed the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party during his campaign visit of the Eastern region. According to them, social interventions and developmental projects carried out by the NPP in their first 4 years has improved the state of the country, hence the support for Nana Addo's second-term bid. Otobo Jan Kwesi, presenting a blessings to Marie to the president at Abri Girls Senior High School, called on residents in the Akuapem South area to vote for the president on December 7th. Yusuf Amudani, the Eastern Regional Chief Imam, on the other hand, after offering special prayers to the president at Koforidua, also took time to seek support for the NPP presidential candidate. Still on election-related matters in the region, the Minister of State at the Ministry for Interior, Brian Echampon, says the country's security agencies are well prepared to protect everyone before, during and after the general elections. The Member of Parliament for Abetifi constituency, addressing a gathering at Nkoko and Enyirisi during President Akufo-Addo tour of the Eastern region, indicated that the government has provided all the needs of the security agencies for the upcoming polls. He assured that the security agencies are poised to deliver on their mandate to protect all before, during and after the 2020 polls. Now, away from politics to education, the Vice Chancellor of the Koforidua Technical University, Professor David Kofi Esuman, has urged female students to venture into engineering programs to help bridge the gender gap in science and engineering. Speaking at a ceremony held at the school in recognition and honor of Miss Chrisbella Tiwa Nkansa, who was adjudged the overall best female medical laboratory student in the higher national diploma category across Ghana, Professor David Kofi Esuman called on prospective tertiary female students to exploit gaps in the science-related fields and study programs in engineering and other science-related fields in technical universities. On her part, Ms. Nkansa, who was presented an award as the overall best female student in the medical laboratory, urged government and other stakeholders to offer support to students in technical universities. She added that a conscious policy to support female students to study the sciences will go a long way in helping bridge the gender gap that currently exists. That will be all for today's edition. For News Roundup from the Eastern region, my name is Neoni Amate-Kanaku, and thanks for watching.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of News Roundup from the Ashanti region. I am Hafiz Tijani. Coming up, the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region wants security agencies in the country to ensure only personnel with identification tags are deployed to various polling centers on December 7. Although the hierarchies of the Ghana Police Service and other security agencies have assured Ghanaians of their readiness to ensure objective supervision of the processes, the NDC in the Ashanti region wants further and convincing assurances. Speaking to City News, the Ashanti Regional Secretary of the party, Kwame Zu, noted that the provision of the tax to the security officers will give a firm assurance that vigilantes are not involved in the process on the voting day. Kwame Zu added that the party believes when such provisions are made, it will more importantly help to ensure a violent-free electoral process. Also, flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Zogonuku, is proposing what she calls a neutral system in the selection of chairperson of the Electoral Commission and deputies. This, she believes, will eliminate the appointment of persons to occupy such positions by the ruling party and also build public confidence in the country's electoral management body. She made the remarks during a courtesy call on the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II at the Menchia Palace as part of the party's campaign tour of the Ashanti region. The Electoral Commission has come under accusations from the opposition National Democratic Congress for being in bed with the ruling New Patriotic Party. The Electoral Commission has, however, denied the allegations, describing it as palpable falsehood. The flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Zogonuku, speaking to journalists during her visit to the Menchia Palace, called for a neutral system in the selection of the chairperson of the commission. The Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II, on his part, commended Madame Zogonuku for her boldness to lead the PPP and also spoke about the positive role women can play in Ghana's politics. Finally, as part of efforts to engage basic school students who have been home for about 9 months due to COVID-19 induced restrictions, a real estate company in the Ashanti region, Prabon Greenfield, has introduced students within its operational area to the playing of chess. According to the company, the activity will go a long way in keeping the minds of the students active ahead of January 2021 resumption. The students have welcomed the decision to introduce them to the game of chess, which they believe will help keep their brains active. The headmaster of Prabon Basic School, where the students meet to play the game, Victor Kweku Ogusu, disclosed to City News that the students are committed to learning the game. Chief Executive Officer of Prabon Greenfield, Mr. Freddie Benhamon, on his part, indicated that the chess club will be introduced to other areas in the near future. That will be all for today's edition of News Roundup on Citi TV. From the Ashanti region, I am Hafiz Tijani.
Welcome to Citi News Roundup. Good morning and thanks for watching. With less than 2 weeks to the December 7th general elections, political campaigns have intensified as the two main parties, NPP and NDC are crisscrossing the country to canvass for votes. The Vice President and running mate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was in the northern region, particularly in the northeastern corridor. He has been telling the people why they should vote for the NPP to continue impacting their lives. He further asked the people of the region to reject former President Mahama because he has no legacy in the north. In Yendi, the Vice President urged the people of Dagbon to vote for the NPP as a show of appreciation for the restoration of peace in the area. Also, police have commenced investigations into the shooting incident that led to one person losing his life in Baguru in the Karga constituency. The deceased is said to have accidentally been shot by a colleague after an NDC rally in the area. Lastly, the Northern Regional Chairman of the NDC, Alhaji Ibrahim Mobila, has donated some first aid kits to the prison service in the region. At a short presentation ceremony, Chairman Mobila called for support for various prisons across the country. The officer in charge, Fusheni Suleimana, thanked the NDC chairman for the donation, saying it has come at the right time as they currently do not have a single medication in the yard. He bemoaned the fact that inmates in this day and age still use pan and pit latrine, and thus appealed to philanthropists to come and assist them to change it to a water closet type. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I am Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira for Citi News Roundup.
And that's it for the Regional News Roundup.
Yeah, we have a lot coming up in the show. Later on, we're going to do on the DIY segment.
What are we doing for DIY?
DIY, we're going to be looking at, you know, what makes a good photograph.
Okay.
What makes a good photograph. So photography is the basis for all audiovisuals, you know. So you start with either the photos or the videos to understand the basics of what makes a good photograph.
Okay.
Yeah,
So all the people who don't know anything about photography will walk away.
Yeah, and if you're interested also in even in video, it will also help as well.
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Yeah. You guys don't want to miss that. And then we're also for creative lifestyle. We're going to learn.
We're going to be talking to African,
stuff.
yeah, and
for the holidays.
It's the holiday season, so you know, perfect outfit for the holidays. We're going to be talking to a special fashion designer.
Sometimes it's so difficult to figure out what are you going to wear, what works, what does not work.
Yeah.
If you're like me, you just do any, mini, miny, mo, pick whatever
Pick
goes and call it a day. But there are experts who are going to help us get it right, at least this holiday season.
Yeah. All right, so news review is up next. Don't go anywhere. My name is David Kwikusit.
And I am Dziffa Ametam. We'll be right back.
There is no promise we cannot keep. There is no commitment we cannot honor. There is no delivery we cannot guarantee. There is only one Bethel Logistics Company Limited, a licensed international freight forwarding and clearing agent, a trusted global brand with an extensive network for the movement of air freight and ocean freight worldwide. We are the trusted name for road freight into Western and Northern Africa. We are fully accredited by Ghana Customs and Excise. We cater for all your freight forwarding, customs clearing and forwarding, cross trades, inland transportation, internal cargo tracking systems, customer freight costing and consultancy, cold chain logistics management, logistics and warehousing, quality inspection, and much more. In Accra, Tema and Takrady, we are always available to ensure easy movement of cargo countrywide. Call us on 0204 528 900 or 0244 707 859. Email info@bethellogistics.com. Locate us in Accra at North Ridge, adjacent Accra Girls High School, or in Tema at Community 4, or in Takrady on the second floor of the GCB building. Website bethellogistics.com. Bethlog, experts in shipping logistics.
Hi, my name is Salamatu. Yes, these are both me. You see, before free SHS, my life could have taken two very different paths. The SHS path depended on how much money my parents had, what sacrifices they were willing to make, and whether they would send me or my little brother Issa to SHS. The other part is what would have become of me if there was no free SHS. But today, thanks to free SHS, my future is bright and promising.
Congratulations, you have an A.
He's a boy.
Instead of depending on others, I will stand on my own feet and help my family. Free SHS is where my dreams for a better future and the dreams of thousands of young girls become a reality. Don't let NDC take it away from us. Vote for NPP and give all Ghanaian girls a chance for a better future.
This is the Elections Bureau. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. My name is Duke Menson Poku. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines on the front pages of the major newspapers before we move on to the online stories, beginning with the Daily Graphic. Battle over free SHS. Will it be the game changer? Comes with the pictures of the two leading candidates in this year's elections, President Akufo-Addo on one hand and former President John Dramani Mahama on the other hand. Government releases 354 million Ghana cedis as professional development allowance, covers all teachers. Story on page 13. It also comes with a picture of Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwah, Director General of the Ghana Education Service. To the Ghanaian Times. Search for COVID-19 cure. Committee to assess early adoption of vaccine. It's according to Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kuma Abuaje. Similar story from the Daily Graphic. GES begins payment of allowance to 301,000 teachers next week. Security agencies asked to be tough on vigilantism perpetrators. Comes with a picture of Superintendent Dr. Sasu Mensah of the police hierarchy. 2,080 lives lost, 12,380 injured in road accidents, January to October. Sad story there. To the Daily Heritage. I'm coming to pay you. Mahama promises contractors. Clote Wulomo rallies support to develop Osu. Emergency safe home for gender-based violence launched. And assembling of Nissan vehicles in Ghana begins next year. To the Business Finder. NDC's manifesto promises to cost 119.7 billion Ghana cedis. It will return Ghana to Mahama's abysmal economic record. That's according to the Dankwa Institute. Comes with the picture of Mr. Richard Ahiagba, Executive Director of the Dankwa Institute. Dr. Baumia to speak on the future of Ghana's economy today. Story on page 2. And FDA builds capacity of 56 small-scale businesses. Let's take a look at some stories online, beginning with citynewsroom.com. Mahama promises university for Northeast region if elected. Sorry, my colleague Ni Aikwe Okain, who is on the campaign trail, embedded with the team that is currently in the Northeast region with candidate of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama. Ghana's presidents shouldn't be allowed to appoint EC heads, PPP flag bearer Brigitte Jogbenuku. She's also touring the Ashanti region as we speak. Lies and deception can't return you to power. Akufo-Addo to Mahama. Comments made in the Greater Accra region yesterday. Now, EC republishes December 1 special voting list. So if you are a journalist like myself, if you are in the security services, if for one reason or the other you would be voting, actually you would be working on December 7th. I mean, when the rest of the country is voting, and you've already submitted your details as announced by the Electoral Commission, you can now go onto the Electoral Commission's website to find out whether your details there are correct. So that list was published 2 weeks ago, was taken off the website, but has now been republished. So you can go there and check your details, especially where you will be voting, so that the process would be very smooth for you on voting day. Dankwa Institute blames Mahama for Ghana's economic woes. To some business news now, citybusinessnews.com. We are ready to meet increase in demand for new cars, Nissan Africa MD. Lingering impacts of COVID-19 causes decline in Ghana's trade numbers. Chief of Staff inaugurates technical committee to resolve aviation land issues. GRA sensitizes stakeholders on simplified tax laws. Ghanaian cashew farmers leverage technology to attract better prices. To myjoyonline.com. All second cycle institutions will be boarding. University education will be free. Wow, that's according to the CPP. To bbc.com for some global news. Michael Flynn, Trump pardons ex-national security advisor. He was at the center of one of the matters that were investigated, or seriously under investigation, early on in Trump's administration. Now he's agreed, probably, he's received some pardon from Donald Trump, who is on his way out as president of the United States. For more news, visit citynewsroom.com. For more business news, log on to citybusinessnews.com. So, the program today, we're actually discussing the battle over free SHS. It's become a very topical issue now, and it's become a very topical issue. Actually, in 2012, it was arguably the major issue that determined the election, the matter of access against the issue of affordability. I mean, from 2008, the candidate of the NPP then, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, consistently mentioned free SHS. In 2012, it was free SHS as against access or quality, accessible senior high school education. That's when candidate John Dramani Mahama, President John Dramani Mahama, as he was then promised to build 200 new senior high schools, or 200 community day senior high schools. Now, before he left office, some of them were at various stages of completion. Others were also actually completed, and some had actually started taking on some students. In the last two to 3 days, has become a matter of discussion, contention, a matter of debate, a matter of analysis amongst these two political parties. So we have a story from the Daily Graphic, which I would be reading, and says, battle over free SHS, will it be the game changer? Now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed disbelief over claims made by the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, former President John Dramani Mahama, that he, Mahama, began the free senior high school policy. Now, last Tuesday, while on a tour of some constituencies in the Upper East region, Mr. Mahama stated that, quote, we started the policy free SHS and the MPP came and continued it. But addressing a gathering at Odoko yesterday, President Akufo-Addo described the statement made by the former president as something, quote, which shocked me. The president said when he promised free SHS in 2008, 2012, and 2016 campaigns, they said that I was deceiving Ghanaians. and that it was a vote-buying gimmick, and that even if it would be possible, it would take about 20 years. He continued, not long ago, he said if he had 2 billion Ghana cedis, he wouldn't use it to pay school fees, but rather he would use it on something profitable. Today, he says that he introduced free SHS. President Akufo-Addo then asked the gathering, are we going to allow the former president to come back to power through lies and deception? To which the crowd responded with a big no. The president added that lies from the NDC presidential candidate are born out of one thing, and that is his campaign is failing to catch up with the electorate. Let's just suppose that with what John Dramani Mahama said in the Upper East region during his campaign tour of that part of the country as part of his electioneering efforts. Says, I started free SHS program in 2015. The flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, says the free senior high school program was started by his government in 2015. He said the current government poorly implemented a program which compelled them to adopt the double track system. I assure you, my countrymen, that within 1 year, I'll cancel the double track system, Mahama said. We started a program and the MPP continued it. Unfortunately, the implementation has been very poor, and so it ended us in double track. Mr. Mahama stressed at Tuobong, a community in the Timpani district of the Upper East region. The NDC flag bearer, who's also a former president, is on a 3-day campaign tour of the northern region to galvanize votes. That has since changed. It's currently in the northeast region. He said when voted back into government, all the community-day senior high schools we were building, 200 of them, we are going to finish them so that all the children can get schools to attend. With the community-day schools we are building, we are going to add dormitory blocks for girls and boys, so that those who don't come from the community where the school is sited, if they choose that school and they are posted there, they'll be able to get a decent place to live and learn. On illegal mining, popularly referred to as galamsey, Mr. Mahama said if we handle the issue of galamsey properly, we can create 1 million jobs for young people in this economy. Another story to put the matters in context, also actually a response from Dr. Oseya Educhum, Deputy Minister for Education. You can't compare Mahama's 48 Ghana cedi stipend for day students to free SHS. Now, Deputy Education Minister Dr. Yaduchum has rubbished claims by former President John Dramani Mahama that the free senior high school program was introduced by him in 2015. Mahama has insisted that he started the free SHS policy before Nana Akufo-Addo and the New Patriotic Party took over governance of the country on January 7, 2017. By speaking on Eyewitness News, Dr. Yaduchum said the debate on who began the policy does not deserve the attention it has been given. Quote, we should not even be responding to him. The media is fully aware of who started free SHS in Ghana, so this shouldn't be a debate. He claims he started a program at the time when under his watch 29% of students who were placed in senior high schools couldn't afford to go. If it was free, why didn't they go? I've been joined in studio by Mr. George Aisi, who is a member of the communications team of the NDC. We're also respecting Alhaji Mohammed Nasiru. Alhaji Mohammed Nasiru is also the NDC 2020 manifesto spokesperson on Zongo and Muslim Affairs. But we'll begin with Mr. Aisi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Duke, the aristocrat. Let me apologize for being a bit late.
Okay, that's also to our viewers.
Yes,
so it won't happen again. Yeah. So on the issue of the free senior high school policy, now the directive principles of state policy actually mentions that after the implementation of F-Cube, government, based on the resources that are available, should ensure that as many people as possible have access to education, right from even the second cycle level onto the third cycle tertiary level. Why should this become a hot political potato when any government decides to implement what is actually stipulated in the directive principles of state policy, which is sort of the national plan, development plan, which we have not been able to flesh out over the years?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers. and your production crew. Yes, it's contained in the Constitution. The Constitution became operational on the 7th of January, 1993. And you know, this clause was contained therein in Chapter 6 of the Constitution. And so it mandates the governments or leaders of the country to take steps that will gear us towards the implementation of the policy. But from 1993 through up to 2016, no government had, you know, taken the step to implement that constitutional requirement. And which constitutional requirement said there ought to be progressively free education. I remember when I was SRC president at the University of Education, Winneba, we had made arguments when RFUF and AFUF, academic facility user fees and those things, were being increased yearly. We referred to the Constitution and we said, look, the Constitution says there ought to be progressively free education, which meant if, for instance, this year we paid maybe 10 cedis, what the Constitution requires leadership to do is that they should be making the efforts to ensure that next year we'll be paying 8 cedis or 7 cedis thereabout, progressively free, so that we'll be inching towards the 0 point. That was some of us our interpretation. We had cause to sometimes even do demonstrations and all that. It didn't work out. We were pushing at the tertiary level, even though from the second cycle. So it takes a leader and commitment to implement the policy. Well, our governments came, and then in 2008, a presidential candidate decided to make it a flagship promise that he's going to roll out free SHS. People said it's not feasible, it's a lie and all that. He didn't win. 2012 repeated that promise. In fact, it became big, and when he went out to BBC, he was asked, and he said he was going to rule out the cost before the Ghanaian people. 2012, unfortunately, he didn't win again, but he didn't give up. Okay, then around 2014, 2015, in fact, I had made the argument, I was a teacher at Infantsman School. I had made the argument that why is the sitting president not, you know, taking advantage of the opportunity he has? You get it? Because this man is insisting the free SHS is doable. And so why wouldn't he take advantage and seize the opportunity to rather roll it out?
But he mentioned, I mean, ways in which he was going to do that and gradually roll it out. In the State of the Nation address in 2015, when he announced that as part of the Community Day Senior High School,
yes,
that it was rolling out. I mean, it was beginning with day students, which would then gradually ease into other phases to get to that kind of, you know, policy framework that the country has been looking at based on what is, you know, stipulated by in the Constitution.
Yeah, Duke, I you know, I saw it that he was just trying to discredit the policy. He saw, you know, the argument, okay, this likely this man will bring this free SHS thing in 2016. So let's do something in semblance to the implementation or rollout. And then he brought in the issue of the 38 cedis. In fact, the deputy minister quoted 48. You know, others, let's grant that, but 38 and then that 48 thing for day students. As of that time, day students admitted, this is graphic online, if you permit me, graphic online of, graphic online, 6 September 2014. The Ghana Education Service has raised the approved fees of the 2014-2015 academic year for students in all government-assisted senior high and technical schools. Okay, fresh students, Jesus Christ. Fresh students in boarding houses will pay 668 cedis, 50 pesos each, while their day counterparts will pay 355 cedis, 50 pesos. That's fresh students coming in. Continuing students were paying about 73 cedis, thereabout, right? Yeah. These students, okay? And then there's a policy saying they are going to rule out, and they were targeting 313,000 students. That's the President Mahama progressively free something. Now, if a parent is going to pay 355 cedis, and you are mopping up 38 or granted 48 cedis, which he didn't pay anyway, He didn't pay.
That's contentious.
He didn't pay.
That's
you can call one of their own. He was made. I'll be forced to mention he was a colleague at the Advancement School, Mr. Kwame Alovi, former Nagrat president, was the headmaster of the Tamils SHS. The lamentations and co they were having. Okay, that was the flagship model school, as part of his community day schools, and then these things. So it was their focus was on that school. You get it? To succeed as far as the implementation of these policies were concerned. Challenges. So that is the issues there. And the current Minister of Education said he came and paid those monies. Okay, and then another scholarship. You saw it. They were closing down schools.
That's an issue that has persisted over the years.
Yes.
Feeding grants not being paid.
Of course. But once you've decided to see the commitment this government has made towards these free SHS, it's a flagship. Okay, and all the fees are mopped up. Okay, if somebody is paying, as for the borders, they were not even considered in the policy. And borders, according to your read right now, the deputy minister, constitute about 70% of all the students in our schools. So you cut out 70%, then the remaining 30%, you're giving 38 CDs or 48 CDs out of 355 CDs, 50 pesos. Okay, about 305 or 10 CDs is going to be borne by the parents of these students, and you know the situation. And why, again, I agree with Dr. Duchum, why didn't that engender the flooding of students? We had made the argument all the time. As I said, I've made the argument. I've seen people who, I know a guy, he's today, like when I lost my father, he came to the funeral. He was a brilliant chap, got admission to one of the southern schools here. Okay, and if he had gotten in, he was getting full government scholarship. His father couldn't raise 6,000 in 1984, 60 pesos today. But I'm telling you, if he had gotten admission into the school, if his parents had paid the admission fee and he entered, he was getting full government scholarship, and he was a brilliant chap. Okay,
but just a question for you to wrap up on them. There's a publication we have on cityfmonline.com in 2014 which says that, in quotes, the 2012 presidential candidate of the MPP, Nana Akufo-Addo, says the president's decision, and this one is in reference to Mahama, to implement the free senior high school education in 2015 is good news for Ghanaians and should be welcomed by all. This is an admission by that a semblance of the free senior high school policy was actually being implemented in 2015. So why is it a contentious issue now?
2014, Citi FM is 2014.
Yes, the 2015
of the nation address.
And he says that I see it as good news to Ghanaians.
Good.
Everything we do is to improve the lives and benefits of Ghanaians. It's good news to all of us.
It didn't mean he had implemented it and was being commended. He had made the postulation that I'm going to start this, I'm going to roll it out. Then only to be told, after the candidate then said, oh, that's good news, because that is his ambition. Now, if you're going to implement it, fantastic. Okay. Then only to be told when the budget was read that they're going to pay 38 cities. What? Are you joking?
Let me come to...
and he never paid a dime.
Let me come to Alhaji Nasiru, NDC Manifesto Spokesperson 2024, Zongo and Muslim Affairs. Welcome, Alhaji.
Thank you.
Alhaji, your party, your candidate is being accused of taking credit for policy that he actually did not implement, especially in the kind, frame and form that is being implemented by the Akufo-Addo administration. What's your defense for that?
Thank you so much. And I've said a very big good morning to our cherished viewers. I want to believe this entire much I do about nothing on SHS is one of the attempts by the MPP to sort of hide the rot that's this country experiencing under the government.
But your candidate started it by mentioning that he started the program in 2015.
Well,
which is what has been the basis for the a resurgence of these debates in the first place?
He didn't just say he started, but I want to go further to say that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo delayed the comprehensive blanket implementation of free SHS for 2 years.
How so?
So because John Dramani Mahama, it is explicitly clear, just like your news portal, carried it, everybody saw it. He himself is admitting here that there was an attempt that we even didn't pay. I mean, he himself is saying it. I am not saying so. So clearly, anyone who is listening to us knows that efforts were put in place. These are the mechanisms that we have put in place to ensure that getting to the end of the 2017-2018 academic year, they would have a blanket, implementation of the free SHS. But for the emergence of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration, we could not succeed in doing that. We waited until, I think, in 2019 academic year that we succeeded in having a blanket free SHS. What John Dramani Mahama said is the fact that it is on record, and everybody can refer to it. I mean, you mentioned one of them here, some of the records and our attempt at ensuring that we fulfill the constitutional requirement. And again, let me state it clear that the entire concept of the free SHS is in our manifesto. No, it's in our constitution. Article 25. That constitution, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as a member of the Ghana Bar Association, boycotted the drafting of this constitution. He didn't attend when, even though the Ghana Bar Association were given opportunity to represent and contribute at the consultative assembly to put up this constitution. He boycotted
it. That's a general position that was taken by the Bar Association,
of which he is a member,
groups,
and I said of which
have
is
a direct link to himself as a person.
Yeah, but there are
maybe we don't know. Maybe as a person he would have wanted to be part of it, but once a decision is taken by a body he belongs to, he can't dissociate himself from that. So let's stay away from that argument.
We are not staying away from it. It is very important because you cannot take what it doesn't belong to you and claim it is yours. That is the bone of contention here, and that is why we are discussing this matter, because John Dramani Mahama has said he started the implementation of the free SHS. The records are there for everybody to see. I have seen videos and archives of even the implementation ceremony where he commissioned and ensured that, look, these are our programs. But I'll refer everyone to the Equiapiman Declaration of the Free SHS by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, then the President of the Republic of Ghana. He wasn't making the Equiapiman Declaration of the Free SHS was not made when he was a candidate. It was made when he is the President. And if you have a tape of the Equiapiman Declaration of the Free SHS that everybody saw, you can play it. Then we'll solve this matter once and for all. Because in the Equiapiman Declaration, he made it clear what he meant by free SHS. It was supposed to be comprehensive blanket coverage of the free SHS, indicating what the students are going to benefit. Just for us to start implementation, and we're told it is only the first year students who are going to benefit from this program. And that was not the original agreement. That was not what everybody was made to believe. Then we moved on to the second year, and we have first year and second year. Then finally, we have first, second, and third year. It was progressive implementation of the free SHS as John Dramani Mahama was doing his, and starting with the day student, expecting that by the 2017-2018 academic year we would include the borders, and then we would have had a blanket implementation of free SHS. But Nana Addo's attempt, by starting with only first years, then to second and third, delayed the full implementation by 2 years. And that is what I'm saying. Logic will tell you that nobody is.
But in terms of the numbers, if you are doing a comparative analysis, the numbers that were covered by day students compared to the numbers that were even covered by first years, is that not a misnomer?
Well, it is compared to the numbers, fair and good. Compared to the infrastructure we had, compared to the system we put in place. This is what we have done. Is someone denying the fact that John Dramani Mahama didn't start that? No one is denying it. But what we have been made to believe is to come and discuss something that is far foregone conclusion that SHS has come to stay, and to stop discussing the issue of Japan, the issue of PDS, the issue of scandals in the party, we should continue talking about free SHS, which everybody has agreed has come to stay. We don't have any problem with free SHS. It is a fact. The records are there. Everybody, you have indicated one year that it is the John Dramani Mahama administration that thought of starting the implementation, and we did start it. And then again, if you tell me that the contribution of our forebears who ensured that we have FQ, that is free compulsory basic education, towards meeting the constitutional requirement of free secondary education, we've done, I mean, those predecessors have done nothing, and it is Nana Akufo-Addo who started this implementation. It's like mocking and joking with the brain of the ordinary Ghanaian.
All right, so we'll take a break here. When I come back, we'll continue with this discussion for quite a number of minutes, and then we'll move on to the other issues for discussion. Keep your messages coming in 0550585832. This is Breakfast Daily. Keep watching.
Are you diabetic or hypertensive? Do not just have an eye test. Visit Dashin Opticians for a comprehensive eye examination. Let us conduct an OCT and visual field test. Early detection prevents vision loss.
Back. This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV, the news review segment. I have in studio Alhaji Mohammed Nasir, a member of, that's actually the NDC spokesperson, 2020 manifesto spokesperson on Muslim and Zongo affairs, as well as member of the MPP communications team, Mr. George AC. Before we went on the break, Alhaji was making a point about, the necessity of a free senior high school and who actually started implementing it or not. But before we come back to the studio, there's a couple of messages that I would read before we move on. Wilson from Akome in the Volta region, I hope I got it right, says, I want the MPP rep to find the meaning of progressive and stop making the argument he's on. And from Ankama Foster from Achimaya says, most Ghanaians will continue to see the good job the president has done, and the entire people of Achimanta constituency accepts 4 more to do. Okay, so Alhaji, just a couple of minutes to wrap up on the point with regards to the free SHS debate or argument we are having. I want to quote something the Deputy Minister for Education actually said to essentially highlight the difference between what was being implemented in 2015 and what is being implemented now, and get your response to that. He says that 461,000 students sat for the BEC in 2015. Only 285,000 showed up in school. If senior high school was free, why didn't the rest show up? What prevented them from going to school if not for financial constraints? High school obviously was not free. Why would President Mahama even say this? You come out with a 48 Ghana cedi stipend, which was supposed to relieve the day students in terms of the dues they were paying. Meanwhile, 70% of secondary school students are boarders. How can you talk about bringing free senior high school when about 70% of the students did not feel the impact? So impact, scope, differences in policy direction and even implementation. Is that not the crux of this debate or this variance in opinion as to how to implement this policy?
I'm happy you're mentioning impact. And I don't want to believe that without all our struggle, our effort as a country to be the black stars of Africa, the impact we want to make on our education is to ensure that children go to school in traffic lights. I don't want to believe that is the impact we want to make. So that if we have problems today, as being raised by Charles, as being raised by, headmasters, as being raised by policymakers who are interested in education, that the current system has a lot of challenges and we need to address them. I want to believe that if this discussion was even for the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration to highlight and indicate for us that these are the things they are going to put in place to ensure that moving forward they get rid of the problems that is the implementation is facing, it will be more progressive than who started it. For me, again, moving forward, I want to believe that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo can never, ever compare himself to the effort John Dramani Mahama has made in education. Indeed, someone raised the issue of the impact and the numbers that our free education dealt with as compared to what numbers they're also dealing with. It was explicitly clear that we were dealing with free day students. Indeed, if you go to places, let's say Womase in the central region, for instance, and you have to come to Praso for a secondary school, which you don't have in your area, you cannot benefit from the free day school that John Dramani Mahama has implemented. And the plans were that moving from the day student, we are going for the borders as well in the subsequent year, which would have included someone from Womasu who was gained admission at Praso to also get the opportunity to benefit from the free SHS. It's a process. We all believe that the contribution of John Dramani Mahama building the infrastructure, expansion, it did not start when he just became the president. Indeed, when he was the vice president, the record time where we were supposed to keep the continuing students, because that time we were supposed to do 4 years instead of the 3 years that we've been doing. So that year, 2008, 2009 academic year, John Dramani Mahama as the vice president then ensured collectively with the president and the team and governments then ensured that no student or nobody was going to school in traffic light as we are seeing today. They expanded the infrastructures, they ensured that everything moved on smoothly.
That's a temporary measure. The double track system you are told is a temporary measure. 1.5 billion has been
an indication of the fact that
infrastructure has been rolled out across the country.
Certainly,
which means that there is a certain admission or acceptance of the fact that
that is all I'm talking about. That is all I'm talking about.
So if you talk about traffic lights, it's not a denigration of a good policy motive or good policy intent.
The good policy intent did not include the traffic light going into school. I told you, we can play back the Ekwapiman declaration of free SHS by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and here, whether he said students were going to go to school in traffic light. I mean, those were the things he promised us. And if we were raising issues, why is it a denigration?
Is it not a mark of good leadership to come up with creative solutions in the face of the numbers?
And I'm saying that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did not come out with that. Don't credit him with an idea he did not even participate in drafting. The idea of free SHS, no, the idea of free SHS is in the constitution, drafted by the ordinary Ghanaian, the butchers, the market women, the lawyers who were interested, the members of the PNDC. They all sat together and drafted this constitution. So why give him credit of something he initiated? He did not initiate anything. He is continuing what others have done, and we can give him credit for continuing it. And it's very important on him to continue, because it's a good thing for the good people of this country. So he must continue. He cannot do anything but to continue, especially when John Dramani Mahama has started it. So those are the facts. I mean, we cannot run away from it.
Yeah, thank you, aristocratic Duke. Duke, I have something here. I told you I was a teacher in advancement school. As of 2016-2017, that was when they said they were going to roll on the borders. 2016-17, and as far as I know, as a teacher, academic year begins in September. Okay, tell me. Progressively free SHS program, 120,000 bodies, 120, not all of them, to benefit. That's Chemi. The then, I think, education deputy, Alex Chemi, deputy education. About 120,000 boarding students in senior high schools will benefit from the government's progressively free SHS program starting from the 2016-17 academic year. Did it happen? And even that, They will include, the beneficiaries will be those of parents or families that cannot pay the school fees of their children, and HIV parent, poor and cool. I had made the argument when I was teaching some of my students who had CNB scholarship. Dude, you were there. I had never seen cocoa pod before.
And what is wrong with that?
They had never seen cocoa pod, and yet they were on CNB scholarship. My argument is that if you're going to be selective and say poor people, okay, you will end up giving the rich people's children the same scholarship. Okay? And so I supported the carte blanche approach. Everybody, go where you rich or not. Your father, if the father is rich and a businessman, he can use that money to invest and employ other people. Okay? Expand his business.
But was that not the original intent
now, let me come to the issue.
Mahama intended to do, beginning with the day students, progressively, as and when funds were made available?
He didn't pay that one. Then two, he was going to add the borders in 2016-17. Academic year began in September. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. No border was rolled on. Okay? And then he lost elections. Okay? Now, somebody who started a good policy like this, and then let's even assume hypothetically, Kwakubaku will say, assuming without admitting, okay, that indeed he started these free SHS that we are experiencing today, which is shooting up the numbers. His was rather getting numbers down, okay? If you started it, and Duke is coming, Duke wants to continue, or even expand the boundaries and make it whole, will you say you will never, if you had 2 billion, spend 2 billion on free SHS? Does it tell you that somebody who believed in that? I had told you earlier that he did that to whittle away the ambitious promise of Nanado that he was going to do free SHS. He wants people to know that it's not feasible. It cannot be done because he had said that we shouldn't allow a desperate politician to hoodwink us with free SHS, which is not working in other places. Did you hear that, Tim? Yes. This is the man who started the policy. Come on, I don't believe it. If I start something, I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to go all out to ensure that the programs are. Now, let me talk about this traffic light thing. Duke, we all know big schools and others, they have numbers. And interestingly, he told us that they built infrastructure, a lot of them. Then if you had built this infrastructure, why would we be having problems with traffic lights? It is indeed in a novel way excellent to solve an exigency, okay? And that is what is being done. The traffic lights, as we speak, facilities, go to Infanspring School, go to St. Augustine's, go to the Chobodom Secondary School, everywhere, okay? Gradually, we are going to get out of that. But then, until then, as long as the numbers continue to increase and gaining admission into secondary school, you will need to have it so that no child will be left behind. Look, these days, you see how many students, kids are there to come and support, do menial jobs for you. They are all in school, okay? It gives hope for the future. Go read From Third World to First World by Lee Kuan Yew. Okay, when these things were started in Singapore, gradually, the 10, 20 years later, you saw the dividends therefore. And so, if he wants to associate himself with the success of the free SHS, he's free to come on board. You know, his campaign is getting wobbly, and so he thinks he must hang on to clutch onto straws. No big deal. The president says he's shocked. I'm also surprised that he will even do, after saying 20 years, people saying 20 years, and I will spend 2 billion and hoodwink you, a desperate politician wanting to bring free, which is not working in Kenya, Uganda, and other places. He cited all this, and yet today he says he started what? Let's move on. You tie
that in with that. Okay. Yes, with the next story we're about to. With the next story that we're about to move on to, but before that, there's just a couple of messages. Good morning, Citi TV, and to the fabulous comrade Alhaji Mohammed Nazir. Thank you for the wonderful lectures this morning. Lord Brilliant from Tamale says it's a fact that in 2015 at the Ghana Secondary School, John Mahama launched the progressively free senior high school starting with day students. So from 2015, day students were not paying fees again, and the E-blocks were also being rolled out. All these were meant to face in the free senior high school policy. This one says Ghanaians are discerning now. Akufo-Addo is the originator and implementer of the free SHS. The NDC lacks the ambition compared to the NPP, who are always good and building and transforming the economy. The issue we're about to discuss has got to do with the Electoral Commission's preparedness to deliver election results within 24 hours. The NDC at a press briefing yesterday expressed their skepticism about how this can be done and if it's not going to actually put the whole country put undue pressure and duress on the Electoral Commission to be able to implement that. Stories on citynewsroom.com. We'll come back and read it. But I first of all want to, the Electoral Commission they said that they are ready to be able to deliver the results in 24 hours after voting. Their systems are in place. In fact, they put in all the legislative work to ensure that now the results that are actually collated and announced at the constituency level are just transmitted all the way straight to the national level for the collation to be done. Those were some of the reforms that were actually implemented in the plan of Charlotte Osei to eliminate this strong room system that sometimes put a lot of the political party acts and everybody in the 10th house. But your party has a problem with that. They also accuse the Electoral Commission of not being consultative enough. Is the NDC not putting undue pressure on the Electoral Commission?
It is our duty to put undue pressure to everybody to ensure we have a free and fair election. It's our duty as players in the game. But before I come to that, I clear one misconception that is being created by the NPP to the effect that we talked about the viability and possibility of implementing blanket free SHS as at 2017-2016 academic year. We indicated reasons, and we have been vindicated. Indeed, when the MPP came, they could not implement blankets free SHS. They also did it in talks and in progressively. It is very important we not run away also from the fact that as we speak, infrastructure is still needed in our various secondary schools to ensure that we have smooth implementation. My good brother here sought to suggest that if we claim that we build infrastructure, why is it that the students are still going to school in traffic? It should be enough for everybody to be admitted. Forgetting that he's also telling us, as we speak here, that they've also done infrastructure, and that is why they were able to start it. If you're able to start it and you build infrastructure by your own logic, why are the students still going to school in traffic lights? You mentioned China and Lin Kuan-Yew or Singapore and stuff like that. Corruption is felony in Singapore. If you try corruption, the president did not share appointment and cabinet to his brothers and sisters and families and children in Singapore. That is why they are successful. If we're able to fight it and ensure that we stop President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo from going forward in establishing a monarch system of a government, then I think we will get to.
I'm sure you've read the third world story.
I don't think our constitution allows for the setting up of a monarchy in the country.
The president's key friends. Our constitution, our laws. I say our constitution, our laws does not give the president the power to meddle in the affairs of independent investigative bodies, does it? It doesn't. But why is it meddling in the affairs of Martin Amidu? How? And you think that we can take this president serious as somebody who guides and protects our laws and our proceedings? We cannot take it.
But the same Martin Amidu acknowledges the fact that the support in terms of financial resource and all others that were actually required for him to be able to do his work as a special prosecutor was given to him.
And so that's mean that he wasn't meddling, the president wasn't meddling in his affairs?
The presidency has also responded that as a lawyer, Martin Amidu should know that if you make allegations, you allow for other people, the audio authorem partem principle or convention in law.
Yeah, but it is not for the president to instruct Martin Amidu to do that. It is for the individuals on whose allegation has been made to defend his right by the constitution, not the business of the president. You see, the crack of the matter is the attempt by the president himself
But anyway, that's what the matter we're discussing. That's what the issue we are discussing. So
why did you give that report to the president?
Before we veer off what we are discussing.
The matter is that an independent institution is conducting investigation against the president's own brother. That is the issue. What about Asigiri? Why didn't the president intervene in the issue of Asigiri? Why didn't the president intervene in the issue of others? But his brother is intervening in the issue.
The Electoral Commission's ability to deliver results in 24
hours.
Well,
we'll come to that.
That's the matter for discussion.
It's very, very, very simple. The Electoral Commission today, has left a lot for us to be confident that this election is going to be so smooth. You take the predecessors, the things they have done to ensure that when we get to election, the cooperation, coordination, transparency, making sure it's a collective responsibility. Where we don't agree as political parties, we would normally have consensus where we can drift from our probably extreme position to the middle, then the Electoral Commission and others will also move to the middle, then we agree on something to move on. That has ensured that election after election, Ghanaians, continue to have confidence in the Electoral Commission. What we are saying today, would raise a lot of eyebrows. People are concerned how this is going to be done. You asked a very wonderful question, something that will be a novel if we're able to achieve. 24 hours we're able to declare results.
Especially everybody the tension.
It's novel if we're able to do it, but it is another rhetoric because it's a statement in vacuum. When she was making this debate, she did not tell you or I the process she's going to put in place to achieve that objective so that we can all verify and see the viability of a claim. She's not told us that unless maybe you're part of the meeting with a senior journalist and she told you something that you journalists have not published to us. Still, it is also important
that is the natural consequence of the processes that they've put in place.
Yeah, so
over the period. So for instance now, collation is not going to be like previously where you have to fax everything to the regional level before you take it to the national level. Now results are going to be certified at the constituency level. So as you are declaring that of the members of who has won to be MP for the area, that of the presidential has also been certified and sent straight away to the national collation.
Yeah, if you are declaring
all this is to whittle down.
If you understand the electoral process, even at the constituency level, before you can declare election, it's supposed to be by the presiding officer at the coalition center, where all the polling stations gather and present the returns.
You think that's not possible in 24 hours?
It should. I'm saying that we hope it should be possible, but she has not told me because you have not told me things that she will do to convince me that it is possible. Or especially also taking the fact that she's also made several statements earlier which she has not been able to fulfill. And the entire commission, Dr. Serebo herself, have made several promises that they've not been able to deliver. Now, if you are raising the aspiration and hopes of the ordinary Ghanaian to the effect that you are going to do this in 24 hours, when you yourself, as you are saying that you are now going to depend on technology, you are going to do things manual, and we all know the delays that is associated with manual presentation, which is acceptable by all, though it will be very difficult to achieve this objective. And also, if you take elections and you begin to view constituencies as only in Accra, Kumasi, and stuff like that, you're making a very big mistake. Because you go to, let's say, Nanumba, you go to Chamba, you go to many other places, especially in the regions in the north. The distance from one village to a polling station is enough to journey from one region to another in some part of the country. So it becomes very difficult, even if they finish at the polling station, collating it, sending it to the collation center is another difficulty. By the time they get there, it's probably too late, lack of transportation. There are some areas where you can only use motorbikes to access those areas. I mean, all these difficulties that we are privy to makes it difficult for us to believe and understand what she's saying. But she has the opportunity to give us further and better particulars as to how she's going to do that for everybody to be convinced on her promise.
Okay, Electoral Commission to deliver results in 24 hours.
Yeah, thank you. But before that, he came with his topic, and then
we have a few minutes.
Yes, please. The Martin Amidu issue, I think, is much ado about nothing. The facts have been put out there, and the fact that I was happy you brought the auditorium parting concept in law, and the president felt, why did he even send the document to the president? The president didn't commission him to do the thing. He said he would do it. They stopped everybody, allow him to do his work. When he finished, he himself didn't even give a copy to his board. He took it to the president. So if the president had put it under his pillow and slept, after 1 week he will come out to say he gave the president a copy, he didn't do nothing.
Right, let's move.
Yeah, so thank you. And every Ghanaian knows this president is committed to the fight against corruption. And if it were Lee Kuan Yew, go check. He's good friends with part of his administration. He's a very good friend, and one of them was involved. We'll talk about all
his son later became prime minister anyway.
But
that's not, it's not a matter for discussion. Let's move
facts
to the
right.
issue.
Thank you. Electoral Commission. It's doable, Duke. It's doable because we, the MPP, had done it. You remember 2016? By midnight of 2016, we knew our results. By midnight of 2016, we had put all the infrastructure in place. We had parallel collation centers to the EC's collation center in Cape Coast. You know, somewhere around the technical school where the collation center is. That's the Cape Coast Technical. Then, within that vicinity, we had another collation center for the MPP. Okay? Our then candidate, my wife was there, and I was in the collation center. You get it? And so when they finished, and we had people from the national level, all the IT guys partnering. So when they finished, then they will bring the documents to us. And so we have a first view of what the position is. And that even enabled us, when the EC was inputting the data, we realized our figures were going for PPP, NDC was going for others. Then I said, look, what are you guys doing? They said, oh, don't worry. Everything will fall in place when we finish. I said, you're joking. Get it right before we proceed. So they could pause for 1 hour, then they'll bounce back. But then the truth is that, in spite of all the difficult areas that Alhaji is alluding to, we were able to get the information, collate before midnight.
But the checks that may have to be run with the EC's process, certification, all those things, may not have been present with that of the MP.
Yes.
You cannot necessarily
compare the two processes. Once we were able to do it by 12 midnight, right? By 12 midnight of the same day, with these checks and co, let's grant them by 6 a.m. They should be able to get all these things, because now I think, and one thing I'm happy about is still maintaining the manual reporting. You get it? Before 2012 petition, this thing, nobody had the collation center report. No political party had it. And it was serious.
Oh, the need for speed not trump accuracy.
Oh, no. But we have speed and accuracy as well. You know, when one of the tests for elective math students is speed. If you care to know, it's speed for elective math students. It's speed. And accuracy is also ought to be there. You get it? And so we can do that and be able to progress. But then I agree, she should get all the parties, and Alhaji was right, that you need to roll out certain steps that you're putting in place to ensure that we'll be able to meet this 24-hour thing, okay? And you give all the parties that, okay, we are putting in step A, B, you tried helping them, A, B, C, D, and based on that, we'll be able to get everything by within 24 hours. So Alhaji is right. IPAC, they should meet and then give the assurance to all.
Let's bring in our
ready to support them to succeed.
Charles from Sonsomia in German says, I think this year's election is going to be a tough one, so our politicians should campaign for peace before their political parties. Bilal from Walwale says, Muhammad said free SHS was only going to be possible after 20 years. Why is he now claiming he started it? That's something all his appointees were strongly opposed to. Ezekiel from Boku says, I don't think it will have been all that easy for the president to implement free SHS if it were not started by a previous president. So the president should stop bragging that he started it. On that note, we will wrap up today's discussion on the news review segment. I had in studio Alhaji Mohammed. Alhaji would like a back of it, but the time.
I would have to answer the gentleman who talked about the previous.
But for want of time, yes. Alhaji, we have a few more days to elections. I'm sure the opportunity will be there for us.
Okay,
Alhaji Mohammed Nasiru is the NDC 2020 manifesto spokesperson on Zoom and Muslim Affairs. Mr. George Ayesi is a member of the NPP communications team. My name is Duke Mensopoko. Keep watching Citi TV. We have all the other segments up next on Breakfast Daily.
My bro, some double track system will be upgrade one. Sir
John Mahama NDC, Edin Kunim December 7th elections here. At Wabeta.
Not Metitin Simbu, William say, saying Ramahama Samba, and free SHS no between.
And Yano Crabra, John Mahama NDC, and the basis community day senior high schools, and the shares have free SHS Yassi. Now, fair then a dear on one diabano, war best between. Your person wire and say, Obabi Isa, double track system, every hole. Was Shankwalana this Yamukina, a money tumpon. Media the Emmet Decran says, Tibetano, air technical and vocational education training, and also be free.
Said they asked them that, Emilia, to our resume said, saying Ramama Samba, double track system, will bet me to us here.
A Coco Kuraman, John Mama, any NDC, and a baby, and a pioneer school, no, a free primary, any JHS. I won't want to mean yet. Teacher Suleiman can be benchro. 430 private senior high schools in Ghana. It to me fat a school for 200,000. 200,000. And John Mahama so buy. Obesi community day senior high schools. Maku 46. That's 50 as here. And when and Punana Kufa Dubai, we're treating any one pound to us. You're cunning in our bomb. It to me ye double track system. Everyone.
Teacher Emilia, we didn't to me train you. 7 December, number 2 John Mahama NDC. One more than number 2. That's our traffic light double track system media. I was said to chat.
Too much John Mahama, ni NDC. I'm a Juma ni in Koswa Abba, I'm a Yenina.
The fight against coronavirus is far from over. The pandemic hasn't ended yet. Until there's an effective treatment, we still remain at risk. Continue wearing your nose mask. Practice social distancing. Regularly wash and sanitize your hands. To prevent the virus from crashing back.
Where the road environment is not lighted at night, visibility is poor. Drivers rely on the lights of the vehicle to drive at night. The lights also make other road users see the size of the vehicle and make room for it. When it gets dark, switch on your low beam the moment you put on your parking lights. If an approaching driver maintains a high beam, alert the driver by flicking your beams once. Do not retaliate with your high beam because it will blind the approaching driver who could run into your vehicle. The high beam should only be used when you are the only driver on the road. Stop road crashes now. Stay alive.
This road safety education is brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority.
Hi sisters, I dated a man when I was in SHS and he promised to marry me after I gained admission into the university. I gained admission last year and I went to introduce him to my family 3 months after that. Unfortunately, my family didn't agree to the marriage because of an existing chieftaincy issue in my town. I tried to convince my family, but they still did not budge, and I had to break up with him. I met this new guy earlier this year. Went to introduce him to my family 2 months ago. My mom and siblings have rejected him and said I should cut ties with him. We love each other, and it's hard to break it off. I was so happy that I'd found love again, and now this? Please help me. I'm confused. I'm depressed as well, and I really want to hear from you, sisters.
Is she their daughter? What mother wants her child to be depressed?
Exactly.
You know?
Trying to understand also what is the rush. If she is indeed 20, what is the rush? And if she's only met the guy this year, how much does she know about him? Is she in love with him? Or is there also a little part that's in love with the idea of marriage, being a wife, and what that means?
Sister is sponsored by Vodafone. The future is exciting, ready and secure. You decide.
Election is approaching, and Rastaman, one love is what we are need. One love, peace. Yankob, you want it? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. If you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. If you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Hey, Mr. DJ, open it up higher. Let them assess you with the cause music is power. So me never getting tired. Never test my abilities, cause music is my ability. I'm living it, I'm learning it, I'm loving it, and I'm singing it. I'm living it, I'm learning it, I'm loving it, and I'm singing it. If you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. If you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Yeah, yeah. Don't test music, music is food for the soul. When I am sick, music that helps me. When I get rhythm straight, everything feel irate. Feel irate, everything feel irate. Yeah, cause I'm living it, I'm learning it, I'm loving it, and I'm singing it. I'm living it, I'm learning it, I'm loving it, and I'm singing it. Yeah, if you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. If you want the music, go on. Never underrate the Rastaman. If you want everything to know, never try desire, man. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Let the music go on, go on, go on. Hey, when we step on the stage and hold the mic, seeing all these people screaming my name, it's give the feeling of fame. I'll give nothing less but my all to music. Music for the soul, music for the heart. Yeah, yeah, music for the heart. Respect to the creators of music. Me and bow to the fathers of music. And God bless everyone doing music. Rastafari say, go on, Selassie say, go on, Jah people say, go on, everybody say. Once I get Rastafari say, go on, Selassie say, go on, Jah people say, everybody say, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Go on, 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 go on. Music go on, music go on, go on, go chop, 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 hey, chop, yeah, yeah. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
Welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now we all know that the holidays right around the corner, and a lot of us will be turning ourselves into photographers, even though we have no idea what we are doing. So David Kweku says she's going to walk us through what makes a good photograph. If you have any questions for him, let us know. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily, and the WhatsApp line is 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, just use the country code +233. Okay, David, I'm sure some of our viewers are wondering why you're the one we're discussing photography with. So give us a bit of background.
So I started my photography career back in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
12 years ago.
Yes. So I've been doing this for a while. You know. I've crisscrossed the entire country and photographed outside Ghana as well. You know, different countries, Liberia, Dubai, different places as well. But the entire experience, I think, is one of the things that, for me, taught me that you can literally do anything in life you want, you decide to do. Because I did not study anything photography in school.
You don't have to go to photography school?
You don't have to go to photography school. Okay. But you do have to put yourself through some kind of schooling. Okay. Okay, yourself. Okay. You know? So I tell people I taught myself in the University of YouTube. You know, and so that's where I got everything that I know. Wow. But the basics of photography is that the word photography is broken up into two words. Okay. Photo and graphy. So graphy refers to the art or the drawing. Okay, so you have geography, you know, and so on. So it's the drawing and the coming together of the construct, whatever it is you're doing. Okay, but photo is light. Okay. All right, so it's basically saying drawing with light. That's photography.
Why do you need light?
Drawing with light. So what basically is happening is that let me use the sun as an example. Everything that we see, okay, we are only seeing those things because the sun is shining on the subjects. Okay. Okay, and the subjects are reflected into our eyes, and that's what allows us to see. Wow. So if it's not the sun, then it's some other kind of light source. Okay, it's bouncing on it. So in a dark room, if you turn on a torch, okay, where the light hits, once it bounces off that subject and hits in your eye, that's what makes you see that object. You know, so light is critical to photography.
Okay. What else do you need to be a good photographer before we look at the images that we have?
Okay, so you need to be able to think creatively. Okay. How do I show this picture in a different way that people haven't seen it before? Okay. Do you remember the first time for example, I'll give you an example, when we watched on Citi TV about Town? The first time we started showing about Town. Remember seeing the drone shots?
Yes.
And all that. It's the same places that people walk every day. It's just you're showing it from a different perspective, that people don't normally see it from. All right. Sometimes we look at photographers and we say, "Hey, Akwawe or tribute," and the reason why we say those kinds of things about photographers is because maybe he's creatively trying to get some kind of shot. So you find a photographer maybe lying on the ground, trying to get a shot. And you're asking yourself that, does he really need to be lying on the ground? Well, there's something in photography called composition.
Okay.
All right. Now, how a picture is composed is critical to your finding it interesting or not.
Okay.
Okay. So if a picture is interesting, there are elements that are coming together that's making you look, oh my goodness, wow, I'm looking at this picture, you're like, it catches your attention. It triggers some emotion in you.
Wow.
Right? And that's composition. That's making you do that.
And you need to go, you can't just do it from just standing or whatever angle and just taking the picture.
So for example, people photograph children, right?
Okay.
Now, a lot of people photograph children completely wrong.
Okay.
They stand up above their child and then they point their camera down towards the child and photograph the child that way. That's the completely wrong way to do it. Okay. Unless there's a special reason why you want that kind of shot, that's not how you photograph children. You're supposed to come down to the eye level of the child and photograph them from that level.
Wow.
Okay. Those are the pictures that will, the reaction to two photographs of one of a child, same child, photographed from the top and then photographed from beneath, suddenly makes you feel as though one picture looks more professional than the other. Okay, but the reason why you're feeling that one looks more professional than the other is the emotions that it's evoking in you, because this is a child, and yet the child is looking so adult-ish because of the way you came down and photographed the child at eye level.
So we have some pictures. Let's take a look, and then you walk us through what makes them so nice. So this first one.
So this is a picture that I took, I think this was 2015.
Okay.
At Chalewate. Okay. Now, Chalewate Festival, basically you're just walking through the crowds and taking pictures, right?
So many things are happening.
So many things are happening all the time. And I saw this guy coming, all right? And then I was like, okay, this is a good, interesting moment. But for me, it's not just about the individual in the picture. It's about everything else in the picture, right? So there's a background to the story, right? Now,
so what caught your attention aside the guy? Because when I see the picture, the only thing I see is
the main guy,
the main person.
Yeah. So he is important, but he's nothing if the background was plain. Do you see? If the background was plain, maybe like a plain wall, he alone will not be as electrifying in the shot. Okay, but the reason why the picture looks the way it does is because of the other people who look like what you see his mask on his face. There are others wearing the similar masks, and for me, it's about putting him. This picture is using something called the rule of thirds.
Okay,
that's an aspect of composition.
Okay,
composition.
What is that? No, we did composition already. So the
rule of thirds, which is an aspect of composition, right, says that put your subject either in 1/3 of the frame, or let your subject fill 2/3 of the frame. Okay, so ideally you don't want to center the subject in a documentary type picture. Okay, you want to put the subject in either 1/3, and this is what I did. So the main guy, bare-chested guy, is the subject, right? So I framed him in such a way that the subject appears on the left third of the picture, and the other 2/3 has the background. But you see, the background is people who are looking at him and people who are also dressed like him.
So if you're going to do this at home, you have an event like maybe Christmas parade, where do you even start from when you see someone like this who stands out?
So it's about looking through the viewfinder of your camera. And you see, the thing is that it doesn't happen like in a day. You know, you think of the rules, but the rules don't come to you naturally.
Yeah.
You have to practice and play with them. You know, and play with them over and over again. Okay, so you look at the group of people in the grounds, right? They're all hanging around everything else, and you want to take a picture of
and
them.
Zone in on
so
a specific.
you focus on one person, but you angle yourself in such a way that there are other people in the background of that shot. And then you'll probably give you something similar to this that you're looking at.
Nice. So next time you go to an event, let's try out and see if we'll get this one and share that image with us. Rule of thirds, okay? Let's see the next picture.
Okay, so this picture was on the Nzulezu River.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were
beautiful.
We were actually leaving Nzulezu on our way away from Nzulezu, and I was flying a drone. So I'm in the boat there.
So you're with them?
I'm with them in the canoe, and I was flying the drone, you know, and then so I basically wanted to get us, and see, so we are now the subject.
Yes.
Right? So the subject is always critical. Where do you place the subject in the shot? Okay, but then you can also see that. So this one, the question you ask yourself, where was the person standing and taking the picture? But that's why I have to say it quickly that this was a drone shot. I'm actually in the boat. Okay, but the whole idea is to give people a feeling of what it must have been like, you know, being out there. Completely like, almost like a wilderness kind of experience, you know, but large body of water, good foliage in the background, and then we, the little people,
are in there.
In the picture.
So if you're using this drone, how do you position it in a way that you not only get nature, but you also get your subject?
Well, the good thing about the drone is that you get to see what you're going to take a picture of on your viewfinder. That's the remote control typically has a screen.
Okay.
So the screen will either be your phone or will be an embedded screen, you know, on the remote control.
So this one, you don't need the composition or the rule of two-thirds?
Actually, the same rules apply.
Okay.
The same rules will apply. But in this case, the boat is moving. The drone is mid-air. I didn't honestly think about rule of thirds here. You know, for me, it was just making sure that I would capture some sky, some water, and then the foliage in the background, and us looking as the little nothings in the whole landscape. You know,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we'll see the next one is.
Okay, so
this one looks like something in the northern region.
Yes. So this lady just caught my eye. There was a group of them.
Okay.
You know, and there was an intervention for some people some women in the north, teaching them how to do basket weaving and helping them to also find a market for their baskets once they are done, right? And so I was looking at the different people, and she just looked so intense and so into what she was doing, you know, and I found that moment really exciting, and I took a picture of her. This picture has been used on the World Bank website, on the Mo Ibrahim website.
Wow. So sometimes, how important is it to really pay attention to the individuals as well? Because when you see so many people doing the same thing at the same time, you just kind of want to capture them all.
We want to capture everybody.
Yeah.
But capturing everybody sometimes doesn't tell the story. You know, capturing one person who is intense and intently doing what it is that they're doing tells you the story. For me, there's a whole story in here, you know, of someone who is determined, someone who says, I'm not going to let age be a reason, you know, for my not making it. I'm creating something out of nothing. This is just reeds and straw, you know, but I'm making something beautiful out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for beginner photographers, you always have to start with, what story am I trying to tell with this picture before you take it?
I think especially if you're going to do photojournalism,
okay,
right, you should think of the story behind the picture.
Okay.
I think the story behind the picture.
So there are more pictures that we'll be looking at, but we're discussing what makes a great photograph. All of us are going to go out and take pictures of our family members and friends, or maybe you want to acquire a new skill, but you don't know where to start. If you have any questions for David, let me know. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily, and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana, just use the country code +233. Are there things that people should pay attention to as they go out there to take pictures?
Yeah. So I'll reiterate the three principles, three basic principles you think about in the first place: light, subject, composition. Okay. Light, subject, composition. Just these three. Always keep them in your mind: light, subject, composition. Now, if the lighting, for example, is behind the subject, you're going to get a silhouetted picture.
Okay.
Okay. And maybe that's what you want, but maybe that's not what you want. Maybe that's what you want, but maybe that's not what you want. Now we have one of our pictures is a nice silhouette picture. You see of fishermen pulling in a catch.
This one? Okay.
Okay. So this was very deliberate.
Okay.
I wanted this. So, but this is not typical. This is not what you do normally. Normally, you want your subject to be well lit.
Why did you want it this way?
Because I think that for me, seeing their faces is not important, but showing the picture that describes the effort of what it is that they are doing. You know, so at the end of a day, and by the way, this wasn't actually like in the evening.
Oh, really?
Look at the position of the sun. This is like 2 p.m.
Wow.
Okay, so it's understanding the equipment you have also, and being able to play around with the gear that you have to give you this effect.
So the kinds of equipment you take with you they're also important.
Matters. I'm a big believer in understand the craft.
Okay.
And the craft, your understanding of the craft will lead you to buy your gear. Some people just go and say, what camera should I buy? And then you just go buy this, that, and we never invest in understanding the craft.
But isn't, if you have the craft without the camera, won't you be limited?
So I can do the same thing with a phone. Same picture, I can do it with the phone.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that if you understand the craft, you don't actually need super expensive equipment to produce amazing photographs.
Okay.
You know.
What are some of the things we should avoid for beginner photographers?
Investing money in super expensive equipment is definitely one of the things. You know, investing
especially
money
if you're a beginner, you don't need it.
Don't.
Okay.
Always go for what the camera manufacturers refer to as the entry-level cameras. Okay. Always go for that entry-level cameras. If you want to, and you have a decent phone, okay, with a camera, start practicing with that.
Okay.
You know, the principles are the same: lighting, subject,
and the
composition. All right. Now, the phone cameras are designed in a way that basically the phone decides for you. It's like an automated setting for you what it should be like. But I noticed that if you were to touch the screen, it changes. The lighting changes, right? So you point the camera at something, and if you touch the dark area of the picture, the image brightens up. If you touch the brightest area of the picture, the image darkens.
And this is with
This is with the phone.
Every phone.
This is with the phone. Phones and tablets function like that.
Okay.
But the reason why it's doing that is that when you touch the bright area, you are telling the camera that I want you to recompose the lighting of this shot. Okay. To select for the brightest area. Let the brightest area look normal. Okay. Let the brightest area look normal. Give me the details in the bright area. That's what you're telling the camera. So what it does is to crunch down the lighting, okay, and then it dims the whole picture and becomes darker.
Wow.
If you touch a dark area, you're telling the camera to brighten up the image, because you want to see the details in the dark area of the image, right? So that's what you're telling the camera. All right, then it will automatically adjust for you to see the picture brighter. All right, so this is just with your phone. Now with the DSLR, it's a little more complicated than that, because there are dials and there are buttons and there are knobs and all these things, but the principle doesn't change.
And that gives you more freedom to
It gives you more freedom to be creative. Okay, it gives you more freedom to be creative. And for me, I always say, look, as soon as you can move away from the automatic mode, move away, go to the manual mode and start learning how to use and get comfortable with the manual mode. Listen, usually if you're going to practice every day, it will take you less than a month to be comfortable. Not to be great,
but just to at least know what you're doing.
And then practice a little more, a few more months, you've realized that it becomes easy, it becomes second nature.
Wow.
You know.
We have more pictures, so let's take a look at them.
Okay, so this was in the Indian Ocean, actually. on a trip to Zanzibar.
It's beautiful.
Out in the Indian Ocean.
That looks like a postcard.
I know, right? That's actually what. Okay, so true story. I thought of the sunset, and I thought, what would it look like to create a silhouette of this with the sun in the back? So now my exposure is to let the sun. I was exposing for the sun. Okay. Right, so let the sunlight become normal. Instead of the bright light in the background, let it dim down and become normal, which means that the ship on the water will darken. That's what gives you the silhouette. It's the same principle I used in the other silhouette picture. With the fishermen. Folk. Yeah. Okay, so you select for the background. The background is obviously much brighter than the foreground. So once the background, you tone it down. Then the foreground looks dark, and you get this beautiful silhouetted picture.
Wow. But where do you have to go stand? Because I don't even know where you were standing to do this. I
was on another boat when the ship was passing.
So is it important
to pay attention? So I waited for the moment where the ship went past the sun. Okay, so the ship was just moving across the water, and I was just holding my camera and waiting till it passed just enough for us to see the sun. Not too far away from the sun, but not too close either, and I got the shot.
How important is it to wait for that perfect moment?
Oh, you have to wait. If you want to be a good photographer, you have to learn to wait. Yeah, it's one of the... Look, there are moments. I have pictures, some very iconic pictures of President Mahama, President Rawlings. There are moments where you're holding the camera and you're waiting, and people are like, what are you doing? Just take the picture and move from there. You know, but a great photograph is not taken in a hurry. It's the perfect moment that makes a great picture.
And how long is too long?
Well, so there's one picture I have at the Black Star Square, where the president at the time, this was in 2013, it was President Mahama at the time, and he was driving away. And in my mind, I wanted a picture of him waving out of his vehicle. And I wanted that particular moment. Okay. Now, what you can do is that you can either take hundreds of pictures and hope to get one. Okay. Or wait for the perfect moment and get the shot. So I stood somewhere where I knew that nobody was going to be in front of me. And his vehicle would likely pass where I was standing. Then a bunch of guys also came in front of me. So I moved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it happens.
You have to move.
So I had to move. You know, and I moved into a place where I realized they've all gotten their spot. They like where they're standing.
So they won't move.
They are not going to move anymore. So I stood where I stood. And I wish I showed that picture, but I don't have it in this collection. But yeah, you know, and it was the perfect moment because not only was he waving, but you actually see his wife in the background of the shot also waving. You know, and for me, it's you just have to wait till you get the shot you want, unless you're not thinking about the shot. You know, for me, that was one picture I wanted. I needed to see him waving to the whole crowd as he was leaving. And I wanted to tell that story.
So if you're going into an event, is it, I know for some people like it will come automatically, but do you actually have to sit down, think and plan what you're going to do, what your goal is?
Yeah.
Or would it come to you as you're there?
No, so you know how we talk about preparation, right? And the importance of preparation is the same thing. If you're going to an event, don't expect to walk away with great pictures, just randomly walking in and just take pictures and they become great. No. If you're there to just make money,
that's fine.
That's fine. And I don't begrudge anybody who does that. For me, I think I find myself to be more of an artist. And so sometimes I'm even, you know, like, you know, that kind of thing where people want to negotiate the price down and keep negotiating the price down. You know, sometimes I end up doing that more because I really want the pictures and I want to create beautiful pictures. Yeah.
We're still talking about what makes a great photograph. Okay, so if you have any questions, let us know. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 05505885832. It's important for us to get this right because all the memories we will have when we're all old will be through pictures, right? And you want to get it right because every picture has a story. We'll be right back.
Since 2017, a new dawn is breaking in Ghana. The NPP is building the foundations for growth and transformation. We are curbing unemployment with new and decent jobs.
Thanks to Nana, I've got a new job through NAPCO. That is why I'm voting for him as the MPP.
The promise of free SHS is now a reality.
Through education, I have a brighter future. That's why I'm voting for Nana and the MPP.
The future of our country is in the hands of a competent leader, a man you can trust.
I trust Nana.
This December, let's protect our progress. Let's give Nana 4 more to do more for you.
2020, 4 more for Nana. 2020, yes, for Nana.
Comprehensive news. The Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. on Citi TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondents covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. Very fluent with issues that concern you.
This inquiry we can find Mr. Rabbi. Someone has a bread. Told you kind of a 1 week. What are you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for talk!
With Citi Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us, we are very sorry about this school. If we went to see the children, they are so small, even my grandchildren are there. My grands outside there. If they come out from the school, I have this.
Every day at 8 p.m., Citi Newsroom is live on Citi TV.
Election 2020, Ghana makes a choice. Tracking and bringing reports of the presidential and parliamentary campaigns across the length and breadth of this nation.
Analyzing campaign activities and election data with our panelists on the Voters' Diary.
The Voters' Diary is the most factual, instructive, and balanced election 2020 analysis program on television.
The Voters' Diary every weekday on Citi TV from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Stay informed on all the relevant issues on election 2020.
Tune into the Voters' Diary. It's Ghana's choice.
So we've learned a bit about what it takes to take a great photograph. Now we want you guys to go out there and take these pictures and let us know how the experience was like. Just send those images to us. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 0550585832. Let's take a look at our entertainment highlights.
Welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Ato Kwamina. Stonebwoy has stated in an interview with Sammy Flex on Xylophone FM that Kelvin Boy came to him to apologize after suggesting on social media that he engineered the attack on him during the Samsung opening on June the 22nd, 2020 in Ashaman. He said Kelvin Boy came to him to apologize but did not let his social media followers see it. In a video that went viral, Kelvin Boy is seen walking into the shop with a camera crew inspecting the work done so far. He ignored the camera and officials in the shop, but the mob headed for him. He then took to Twitter to write, "You send people make them come beat me. You think say Ashama be your own?" This was interpreted to mean that he was referring to his former boss Stonebwoy, who he fell out with prior to the incident. Stonebwoy later released a statement to dissociate himself from the attack. Gospel artist Patience Nyako says she would like to do a song with dancehall star Shatta Wale. While speaking in an interview on TV Africa, the gospel musician indicated that she had been yearning to tap into Shatta Wale's greatness. She indicated that she wanted to learn from the Ayo hitmaker, adding that she wishes to know how he writes his songs. Patience Nyako confessed that she was marveled at the fact that Shatta Wale had massive love in Ghana and also had the support of all the youth. According to her, if Shatta Wale is controlling the masses with his song, the gospel artist could also do the same. Patience Nyako buttressed her point with a portion of the Bible that admonishes people to go to the ants and learn from its ways. Meghan Markle revealed on Wednesday that she suffered a miscarriage in the summer, describing the almost unbearable grief it caused her and her husband Prince Harry. The 39-year-old Duchess of Sussex recalled in a personal essay for the New York Times feeling a sharp pain on an ordinary morning in July while changing her 1-year-old son Archie's diaper at home in California. And that's all for entertainment highlights. Good morning.
That's it for our entertainment highlights. Now again, the holiday season is right around the corner and we need to look our best when we go out there. You don't want to look a mess to your family events. Your friends invite you somewhere, and we have the creative director of African by Nana here with us to walk us through it all. If you have any questions for him, you know what to do. Use the hashtag and WhatsApp line. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
Now tell us a bit about African by Nana.
Okay, so my name actually is Kennedy Nana Kofi Ansah Frimpong, and I'm the creative director again for African by Nana. African came about by me putting my names together. So A for Ansah, F-R-I Frimpong, and then K and Kennedy. So it's been African by Nana. Initially it was African Novelty.
Okay.
Then I had a mentor, Kofi Ansah, may his soul rest in peace. And he said, look, African Novelty is very foreign. When your name is mentioned, it doesn't have roots, it doesn't have an origin. So let's do African by Nana. Before, I had also won the MTN Da Viva Soul project, and I was adjourned the Ghana Fashion Star, and everybody was calling me Nana on the show already. So why not? Let's just do African by Nana, and then this is where we are today.
Wow. Now,
thank you.
Where do we even start from? Because a lot of us are a mess. So where do we start from? Going out to an event and we don't know what to wear.
Okay, so casual is casual. Casual is supposed to be you wearing something to an event that is not very formal. So we are doing like informal events. So what you do is, once you think of what you're going, now the mistake a lot of people are making is that because it's casual, they tend to come looking boring or
because casual means I'm home. When I hear casual, you want to be as comfortable as possible.
But there's a thin line between casual and looking very lazy and boring.
And just bland.
And just, and then you coming out, even though it's casual, but you have good clothes, good accessories to match. For ladies, at least, you can avoid wearing heels. And then do a lot of flats, which will make it even more casual. So the outfit can be on point. It can be really stunning. And
so we have some outfits that we're going to walk through. What should we wear something like this to?
Okay, so you going on a shopping, going to see the girls, having fun on your own, or maybe to the salon on the weekend.
Okay.
You can do palazzo pants and a tank top with a nice bag, and accessories, belts and bags to match. Nice shoes in your
So
bag.
this, if you're going out for the girls' night, going for brunch, this is something that you can do. Okay. There's the next one. Oh, this is fancy.
Yeah. So this is our new collection. It's called Lusaka. It's all like a blazer collection. And that's one thing we are also trying to promote. Most of the time, people have clothes, but they really don't know how to put them together. So you could always have like a little tank top or a pair of jeans, but then once you throw on your blazer, it gives you that vamp, and then you look a little more presentable.
So where would you, I can see some of our celebrities wearing this to Cardi B meet and greet.
Yes, already.
It's been a year already.
Kebab.
But on a serious note, where should you wear this?
So you can also do this for like regular day meet-outs, regular day work. You know when like in offices they say, oh, today we are all dressing casual or dress down.
So this is a dress down.
Yeah, this will pass for that.
It's a very nice looking dress down.
And then if you like ribbons, you're good to go.
Perfect. Ooh, this is fancy.
Yeah, so this is also casual. That is not the regular blazer.
This is like
with
bougie
a whole,
casual.
Yeah, bougie, exactly. So, so you can do work with it, you can do hangouts with it. As the holiday is approaching, you can also step out and have fun. You can even style it a little more differently with just a little tank top again and then throw it over and you're gone.
Would it be okay to wear this to a wedding?
You can.
Okay.
If you don't want to look over the top dressed, you can actually wear it to a wedding and be very comfortable. Now the beauty about it is that you're also promoting African prints. So why not?
I like it.
Rather than doing foreign.
And I love the play with the colors.
Yes. And red will just make you stand out.
Yeah. Ooh, this is cute.
So this is like a little doll dress.
Definitely not for church.
No, definitely not for church, for wedding.
Maybe your ex's wedding or something.
Yes, if you want them to know that you are there.
Listen, it's what you're missing out on, but all right, we're celebrating your wedding. I didn't say that, I just said that.
That works.
Okay, so we've gone through casual, we've gone through weddings. What about accessories? What should we be mindful of?
Okay, so another thing that also plays a key role in styling like a casual look could be hats, it could be bags, it could be jewelry, or maybe like again back to footwear. Once it's not like a full shoe, once it's not like a heel, that would elevate the look. Go for flats. And then you don't do flip-flops.
No.
In as much as you want to do casual, no flip-flops.
What if it's very comfortable? What's so wrong with flip-flop? Maybe it's a cute flip-flop.
Unless it's a cute flip-flop, but that is not even pardoned.
Really? Okay, this one. Let's go back. I saw one with. I don't know if it's canvas.
So this is with sneakers as well. You can also look at sneakers, look at caps, as I said, and then little skirts, little tops. This is when
you're really comfortable showing off your legs.
Your legs, that's it.
Okay, all right.
So you could go baseball, and this is like you know when you do that little sleepover at a boyfriend's and you wake up in the morning but you still need to catch up with that. So you can throw on a boyfriend blazer.
So this one you buy when your boyfriend does not have a nice blazer. So that, I mean, I'm just saying. Not all boyfriends have great blazers.
Good. So if he has a great blazer, why not? You can
if
if he doesn't have,
just buy
from us.
Buy from us, and we're good. Now we have Magdalene who's going to model some of the stuff for us. But before we throw it to her, tell us where we can follow you on social media, because some of us will need more tips than this.
Okay, sure. So on Instagram, it is African by Nana. That's one word. On Twitter, it's Nana African. And then on Facebook, it's Kenny Nana Kofi Ansah. Snapchat, I have Nana African 1 and then African by Nana.
Thank you so much.
Once it's African by Nana, you should see
know who
it
it is.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being with us. We're going to take a look at some of his products. Okay, Nana, so we're here You're looking at some of your products in studio. We're going to get to Magdalene soon, but walk us through what we're seeing here.
African by Nana is also a unisex brand, so we do stuff for men as well. So this is like a casual shirt any gentleman can wear for outings, for dates, for hang out with the boys, going for clubbing, everything. Once it's an African printed game, we're projecting African fashion. So, and then this is one of the blazers that come with our Lusaka collection.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful. And we're looking at patchwork. So there are two different prints, but same design and the same.
It doesn't look too busy at all.
No, not at all. And it comes with a belt that styles it up.
Wow.
This is also another casual shirt for gentlemen. Yes.
Okay.
Black and white, nobody goes wrong with.
I love what you're wearing, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Is this part of your collection?
No, this is not yet.
It's just for the founder.
No, this is just for the founder. Yeah.
Magdalene is here. What is she wearing?
So she's wearing like a red dress for an outing. Casual, again, I said, is not boring, is not lazy, is not feeling, okay, is this
so you
t-shirt.
define this as casual? Because I define this as a lot.
Like
if I went somewhere and I saw her, I'd be like, you're doing too much, sister.
Yeah, but this is somebody that wants the attention. This is somebody that
wants
pays, keen attention to detail and loves the color red, roses.
I love what's going on over there. It's
Thank you
beautiful.
so much. Thank you so much.
Wow. And we have another one that's going to, Santos is going to walk right on and show us what you got. Ooh, that is
looking
fancy.
Very casual, very like super casual.
Wow, what did you do with that?
And jeans. Oh, this is like our signature piece, and then the peplum that comes with the blazer.
Okay.
So you can also step out in this any event. You can even come to the office with it as well.
And you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I'm sure she's not going to take it off.
Yes, and then once you match it with your denim and your jeans, you're fine. You're good to go. Sneakers, check.
You're good.
We're good, like super good.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And thank you at home for staying. We're going to go for a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll talk to our artist. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yes. So that was Uni Mello. Yeah, very talented lady. She's here with us. Uni Mello.
Yes.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. What about you?
We're good here. We can see you're holding some things in your hand over there. It looks like an award.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes.
What's that? What award is that?
That's Stars Award. Stars Award.
Stars Award.
Yes.
Okay.
I had the category of Best Songwriter of the Year.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Done.
Big deal.
Yes.
And you're holding some albums.
Yes, that's my album. I launched it this last month, 31st.
Okay.
Yes. Melodies to Mellow album.
Melodies to Mellow?
Album.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
How many songs are in there?
12.
Wow. And what informed the choice of songs that you decided to select for this album?
You know, actually the inspiration came from my name, that is Eugenia Melodies. That's where I had the Unimello from. So I was like, why don't I just do something with melodies, because I believe I can switch any genre. And yes, I have that, so why just we just fuse everything in that, so you have every variety of music in there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, for every music lover.
Okay, what are some of the singles on the album? Walk us through them.
Yeah, we have Nakpe in there.
Okay.
We have Promise Ring, we have Soko Dedel, we have Till Death, we have Mad Fire, Can't Tell.
What inspired the stories behind the singles, since you're a songwriter?
A whole lot. Okay, let me take Promise Ring. You know, nowadays, this kind of guys, they want to lie us with, I give you promise ring, I'll marry you, but actually it's a lie. Yes, they just want to use you and dump you, which I did that if you want to come to me, don't give me promise ring, because I won't take it. I'll just take the wedding ring.
Ah, okay. And then the Sokode one. What's the Sokode one about?
All right, the Sokode is kind of a bit nutty.
Okay.
Not TV.
Oh, yes. It's not TV. Okay, thank you very much for being nice to us.
Welcome.
Let's do ones that are TV friendly. Which other one would you want us to talk about?
All right, I want us to talk about Nakpe.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a Ga, so I want people to know me with that I'm a Ga. Yes. So it's I would like to give you a bit of it.
Yeah.
Like Noni ya nonde o efemi Nakpe. No fione o efemi Nakpe. Aulo efemi o blano efiomi. Aulo efemi Nakpe. It's just to be astonished. Yes, that's the translation from Ga to English, to be astonished at what someone is doing. Yes, so I had that inspiration to write the song.
Who were you astonished by?
Actually, a friend whom I share everything with, but she wasn't comfortable with it. She wanted everything all for herself.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. You're still friends?
No.
At least you got a song out of it, so that's good. Where do we follow you on social media?
Okay, they can follow me everywhere on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, because I'm actually verified on Audio Mark, Boomplay, everywhere. They can
Congratulations.
Find me
And where do we get your album? And the video that we just watched.
It's on all the digital platforms. They can get it there, especially on Boomplay.
Okay, what do we search for when you go to
Yes, Unimelo. Yes, please. And actually, this is the Seat Award I've won.
Wow.
Just within within a year and some month into the music industry. Yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Welcome.
We look forward to following all of your successes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Unimelo.
Thank you.
And thank you, I hope, for staying with us. It's been an interesting Thursday morning.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Friday so that, Saturday I head up my favorite fufu spot. But we still have Voters Diary for you because we have how many days to go? 11 days till elections. So Voters Diary is that show that's on 97.3 Citi FM, 1 p.m. And of course on Citi TV at 3 p.m. It's going to equip you with all you need to know to make the best decision come December 7th.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss the constituency either. The constituency is on It's on Monday to Thursdays at 12 noon each day. Don't miss that. If you missed any of our shows, though, you can go over to our YouTube page, which is CityTube, and all the shows are nicely packaged over there. Remember to subscribe, click on the notification button so you get all the videos as they drop. Like, comment, and share with your friends.
Yep, my name is Dziffa.
And I'm David Kukusechi.
We'll see you 7:30 tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Take care.